name is Madison Hernandez, and I am going to review the film Knightriders from 1981 by George A. Romero. Um, just a little synopsis about the movie. It was about a group of Renaissance fair travelers who, instead of riding on horses, decided to ride on motorcycles. Um, the group would travel around to different cities and put on a performance with jousting, and they'd roast corn and they'd sell jewelry, just a regular Renaissance fair, but with motorcycles. Um, but stumbling upon one in Bakersfield, they run into some trouble with some cops, and it causes them to wonder what they're really doing this for, because they have financial troubles and they don't see really a point because they're not getting anywhere. So with the King William starting to question what he's doing more and more, others start to question what are they doing. So the topic of study that I think it fits into would be the rebirth, or modern modern cinema. Um, the movie starts off with them, just setting up, getting ready for just a regular day, and cops show up. They come and they start hassling them, saying their permit's not in order, but it's clearly signed by the sheriff. They just forgot to sign it themselves. The cops continue to hassle them throughout the first part of this movie. King William ends up going to jail with one of his group members to prove a point because he will not pay them off. Everyone else, is kind of mad, like, why wouldn't you pay him off? It's the easy solution, but King William doesn't want to do it. As the movie progresses, things are really dangerous with these motorcycles and the jousting, these hand weapons. King William continually gets hurt throughout the film, which leads me to how it fits into, like, the white male character with a disability, because he is seen as, the king. He's the hero, he's the standout, but he also seems to have a disability throughout the whole movie. His neck, shoulder area is badly injured, and his stitches keep coming out, and he keeps bleeding and can't win anything. And so the whole movie, other people are having to fight for him, and when he fights, he loses. But to keep him king, they kind of interfere. So towards the middle of the movie, their lawyer sets them up with somebody who wants to pay them to do their quote-unquote act for a larger audience. And King William isn't having it. That's not what he's doing this for. He actually says at one point he doesn't want to be a hero, he just wants to fight the dragon. But everyone else, they need money. They want money. They want to do this for different reasons. But King William, he doesn't want that. So I feel like the whole movie is kind of a journey of self-exploration, kind of. King William wants to fight or joust on a motorcycle for fun. That's what he wants to do with his life. And everyone else wants to joust on a motorcycle, but for money. So they have some problems there. I think another aspect of the movie is that we blindly follow our leaders when we need to open our eyes and kind of explore for ourselves, which is what the Black Knight, Morgan, ends up doing, because he takes the offer for the money, and then, through that exploration, he finds out that's not what he wants. He really enjoys being with those people. So at the end of the movie, they come together, and King William decides, they all decide together that it's time for him to step down and to choose a new king. They're just going to have like a free-for-all, and there's no surrender. Once you come off your bike, you're done. So, Morgan ends up winning. King William steps down, does exactly what he says, and then he leaves the camp. But he gives up his position and his girl in order to find out who he is. He ties up some loose ends, and the ending was confusing, but I kind of got it. He wanted to be a jouster in a real sense, but I guess he couldn't get his hands on a horse, and it was easier to take a motorcycle places because you could ride it on the road as well. So at the end, he's on his motorcycle on the road, and he's hit by a truck while dreaming about riding a horse and jousting. So I really feel like it fits into modern cinema with like a self-exploration undertone.